Vonson.
Pennypacker.
Vandelay. Pennypacker. Vonson.
Vandelay.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the live-action shows that we're always down to revisit. For this list, no animated shows will be included.
It's guy love between two guys.
Number 10, The West Wing.
I'm tired, I'm cranky, and my wife's in Argentina. Let's get this over with.
Aaron Sorkin's political drama sometimes feels like it fits more in the fantasy genre. The benevolent politicians at its center somehow always find a way to come together to do what's best for the American people, despite what side of the aisle they're on. Maybe that's why fans keep coming back to it.
We love you.
Thank you. Listen, I gotta get to bed, but I just wanted to say thanks for the hard work. One more week. You're making a lot of people proud.
There's a maturity and dignity to the way politics works in the world of The West Wing that feels completely bizarre next to the real world. Despite its setting, it still finds time to invest in the characters' relationships, letting them have fun and be human beings amid the important decisions they make on a daily basis.
You work at the White House?
No. No. I'm sorry, I don't.
Must be something, huh?
Yeah, something.
Number 9, Parks and Recreation. Leslie Knope's irrepressible optimism and dedication to the local Parks and Recreation department could have grated on our nerves. Instead, it became exactly why we love going back to Pawnee, Indiana.
I like to tell people, get on board and buckle up because my ride's going to be a big one. And if you get motion sickness, put your head between your knees because Leslie Knope's stopping for no one.
There's something for everyone here. If you can't deal with too much optimism, you have Ron Swanson, the bacon-loving libertarian, and April Ludgate, the dead-eyed cynic, to balance the scales.
The stupid guy I called to book this place didn't tell me they took off the basketball floor for a hockey game. Or maybe he did tell me, but he was so stupid and boring that I wasn't listening. And either way, it was his fault because he was stupid and I hated.
But in the end, they're all working toward the same goal. They might not have always been the most competent, but they are always entertaining. The first season was a bit uneven, but rewatching any episode can make a bad day better.
I worry what you just heard was, give me a lot of bacon and eggs. What I said was, give me all the bacon and eggs you have. Do you understand?
Number 8, Gilmore Girls. When fall hits, some people run right for the horror movies. Some of us use it as an excuse to dip back into the small-town comforts and pop culture-packed repartee of Lorelai and Rory Gilmore.
So, do not want to talk about it.
So how many meals is it going to take till we're off the hook?
I think the deli spread at my funeral will be the last one.
As clever as the dialogue is, the show itself is refreshingly innocent without being naive. Even when the Gilmores struggle with relationships, romantic or otherwise, there's always the hope that things won't get too heavy.
I just want to be sure it's the guy.
Mr. Medina's not the guy?
I don't know. He might be. But right now, it's just you and me.
From its autumnal opening titles to its unbreakable mother-daughter relationship, Gilmore Girls is as warm and hearty as a bowl of chicken noodle soup. It's 7 seasons of comfort food.
I'm going to give you that orange sweater. I know you've wanted it, and you know what? I'm finally going to give it to you.
Mom, you've given me everything I need.
Number 7, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Cops living out their action hero fantasies shouldn't be this charming, but there's something comforting about Brooklyn Nine-Nine that makes fans want to relive it again and again.
Woo! I want it that way.
Oh, chills. Literal chills.
It was number 5. Number 5 killed my brother.
Oh my god, I forgot about that part.
Despite being led by the strict Captain Holt, the officers of the 99th Precinct are an unruly bunch. We watch them play at being cool, but they're all as kooky as any sitcom ensemble.
You can take her away now. Well, I think we handled that with dignity.
Free candy!
Whether you want to relive Peralta and Santiago figuring out how much they like each other, or pay tribute to its late star Andre Braugher, there's no shortage of reasons to binge it again.
Everyone, I'm your new commanding officer, Captain Ray Holt.
Speech.
That was my speech.
Short and sweet.
Number 6, The Office. Everyone at Dunder Mifflin Paper Company is bizarre. Even the ones who think they're normal are lovably eccentric.
The worst thing about prison was the Dementors.
were flying all over the place and they were scary, and then they'd come down and they'd suck the soul out of your body, and then hi!
This motley crew of misfits, misanthropes, and freaks who's trying to get through their workday somehow becomes a family over the show's 9 seasons. What started out as an adaptation of a dark British sitcom with a hapless idiot at its center soon turned into something very, very different.
You can look the other way.
Michael Scott is still a fool, but as The Office grew into a different kind of show, he turned into a fool with a lot more depth and warmth. If you're not grabbing a tissue by the time you finish your second, third, or fourth watch through, you're stronger than the rest of us.
There's a lot of beauty in ordinary things. Isn't that kind of the point?
Number 5. Grey's Anatomy. Powerhouse writer-creator Shonda Rhimes made her name with this long-running medical soap, whose sprawling cast, rich writing and acting, and over-the-top plot twists made it must-see TV.
Dr. Shepard, we should pretend it never happened.
What never happened? You sleeping with me last night? Or are you throwing me out this morning? Because both are fond memories I like to hold on to.
There are so many seasons that going back and tracing the relationships from the beginning can reveal insights even years afterward. Grey's Anatomy's rewatchability has a lot to do with its rich and complex characters.
I want to trust you, but I don't know if I do, so I'm just going to try. I'm going to try and trust you because I believe that we can be extraordinary together rather than ordinary apart. And I want to be...
No one who was there from the beginning stays exactly the same person. It's a rare show that lets its characters fundamentally transform over time. Like life, their relationships and experiences really change them.
To take care when old, senile, smelly. This is forever.
Number 4. Scrubs. Taking the hospital setting and injecting it with comedy, this sitcom follows 2 best friends as they begin their careers at Sacred Heart Hospital.
Well, I think it's okay to be scared.
I need you to tell me that every once in a while, man.
He needs me?
Anyway, I just came to check up on you. See how you're doing.
Equal parts surreal and broad in its humor, Scrubs won its following by offering a medical show with a relentless, quirky cast of doctors. While the show is beloved for how funny it is, it also hits you with some really sad episodes that are just as rewarding to experience again.
With the help of those around you, you'll get through this too.
This show is so rewatchable, even the actors have gotten in on it. In 2020, co-stars and friends Zach Braff and Donald Faison began recording a Scrubs rewatch podcast.
Guy love, don't compromise the feeling of some other guy holding up your heart into the sky.
Number 3. Seinfeld. Classic sitcoms usually don't have much in the way of continuity anyway. For the 4 misanthropes of Seinfeld, there's even less in the way of character development to follow.
I'm sure it's right around here.
Yeah, it looks familiar. I remember the elevator.
There's elevators all over. Everything looks the same. But like rats in some experiment.
You can pick it up from any episode at any time, and you'll find variations of the same theme. Rude people being rude to other people. Crisp observational humor, quotable dialogue, and the genuinely great performances of its 4 leading actors are what sets it apart.
I like to stop at the duty-free shop. I like to stop at the duty-free shop. I like to stop at the duty-free shop.
Jam-packed with awkward situations and quotable punchlines, it has nothing to teach you and no overarching message to impart. It's just well-made, low-stakes viewing.
How do you suppose they did that? Well, there's no logical explanation. Well, should we go home? Well, what about my car? Well, Jerry, you can't deduct it now.
Number 2. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Whether it's monsters you crave or some ultra 90s vibes, the saga of Buffy Summers and her Scooby Gang is always ripe for rewatching. The flagship series of the Buffyverse isn't just for horror and fantasy lovers.
We can do this the hard way, or, well, actually, there's just the hard way.
That's fine with me.
Are you sure? Now, this is not going to be pretty. We're talking violence, strong language, adult content.
Yes, there's vampires, demons, and doomed romances. The great thing about Buffy is that themes of family, love, and death are given equal weight to the supernatural threats.
So what'd you do for your birthday? Did you have fun?
I got older.
You look the same to me.
There are battles that rival Hollywood blockbusters, and tragedies that'll wring the tears right out of you. What makes it worth coming back to is the great talent involved, and the way the show makes you care for every single character.
I love you.
No, you don't. But thanks for saying it.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Breaking Bad. The AMC drama is so good, you have to watch it again.
I have it coming. I deserve this.
You snap out of it.
Supernatural. Come for the monster of the week, stay for the Winchester brothers.
Because when it all came down to it, it was always you and me. It's always been you and me.
The Golden Girls. The ladies' humor and attitudes have only aged up since the 80s.
Oh, God!
Schitt's Creek. Dan and Eugene Levy's family-centered sitcom feels like a warm and hilarious hug.
I did bring down the house at Pat Sajak's first wedding.
Oh, I remember that. Can I buy a vowel?
I had the studio audience wrapped around my finger.
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Between the laughs, there were also moments of timeless social commentary.
I'm running the same race and jumping the same hurdles you are, so why are you tripping me up? You said we need to stick together, but you don't even know what that means. If you ask me, you're the real sellout.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Friends. Chandler, Joey, Monica, Phoebe, Rachel, and Ross don't always navigate life in the most sensible way. You can stand back and laugh at them because there's something endearing about how they fumble and stumble through young adulthood.
What you envy is a Schwein, a thing through which you can tinkle, or play with, or simply let hang.
We could talk all day about how funny Friends is, but that's not what makes it rewatchable. It's also awkward and aggravating and totally relatable.
Look what you're doing to Chandler!
In that way, watching Friends is exactly like being in your 20s. Coming back to it is like reliving those years all over again, with time and distance offering a fresh perspective on some of the more questionable moments.
I've got magic beans. No, never mind.
To the left, to the left.
I'm fine.
Which of these shows are you rewatching next? Tell us in the comments.
You can never be unfaithful to your one true love. You always come back to her.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.